Yes, sound check. Sound check. I believe it can be heard from every side. So, of course, I have limited time. Let me just let's go straight to the point. Today, I needed to record my my recording my lab test on PLC sensor scaling. So, this my name is Derek Were, according to this report that we have here. So today I will be checking out how we can scale sensors using PLC. Thank you. Now, the first thing we'll do, I'm using version 13, V13. So we'll go straight to the PLC. So GIA version 13 that I have in the laboratory here at Sum Polytechnic. So we'll open straight the software. Uh, so GIA version 13 will be opened. Uh, okay, then we open our folder on sensor scaling. Okay, now here we'll open the project view so that we see how we go about sensor scaling. Now, just a quick recap on what we are expected to go through. This is what we were given as the notes. So in this setup, we need to be able to read the values of sensors between specific values. Now, we will be generating PLC programs to calculate the values using these formulas that we have here. So the scale value given by input value times slope plus offset. There's a slope which is equals to scaled maximum minus scaled minimum over input. And the values are 500 to the maximum value is 500 for scaled, minimum value is 100. Then we have maximum input is 648 and minimum is 0. Okay, now these mathematical aspects need to be generated, they need to be keyed in into the PLC. So this is the first procedure we need to go through. So we are going to generate this in the generate this in the PLC. So we come straight to the PLC program. So I've already generated the program, so we'll just go through what I've done and I'll explain as we go on. So wait for it to load. So here we have the main OB. Open some minute. Okay, now in the main OB, we have a segment of networks that we have generated for the PLC. So from the first one here, we have the move function. Move function is found here. So it can be selected from this point. This will allow us to key in the sensor value. So the first value is 500. You can see that. Second value is 100. Then we have the, the sensor. These are the first one are scaled values. Pardon me. Scale values are keyed in. Then we give them a location in a word. Then memory location MW. Okay. Then the same thing with the 100, with the lowest point. So there's the maximum and the minimum. Same thing also works with the inputs from the sensors. The inputs from the sensors or the input from the analog inputs. Okay. Then the values that are coming from the sensor inputs are evaluated using a subtractor. So the subtractor can also be found from a folder called mathematical functions. So the subtractor here, we subtract the inputs and get a value. So this will give us the value of the numerator. The same value will be keyed into the next one, into the next function down here. So we'll also get another one that will give us value for the numerator from the denominator. Then down here we have to input slopes. The numerator divided by the denominator will give us the slope. Okay, then the slope multiplied by the input will give us the offset term. Then you have scaled input plus offset term will give us the actual offset value. Then here we have analog input. Analog input plus slope will give us scale term 2. Down here we'll get the exact values, but anyway the main idea around this is to get the values of the slope, the calculated values for the scale of slope calculated and the offset. So in our the main function of the PLC, the PLC program is to calculate the values of the sensor, where we have the slope, the trend, the slope value, then we have the actual input from the sensors. So this is what we have from the side of the PLC. On the HMI side, uh, we are going to generate pictorials, a pictorial view, or how the sensor and the sensors will be giving us the specific values. So on this side, we have the various scales. So here we have the input, then we have the temperature scale, the scale from the temperature calculated, and the values of the temperature when they are passed through the slope values of of the temperature when they pass through the formula for the slope. Then we have some few buttons called the trend that will help us see, access the folder where we have the programs for the folder where we have the programs for the trend. Then when you open the other screen also, you will see what we have at the trend. So the trend, this is what we have at the trend. It's a folder that has some few softwares. So quickly we can try and run this in the simulator and see what we have. So let's open all these windows. Okay, now we're opening the screen one. This is what we are seeing on screen one. We just have the actual values in real time. So allow me to open the root screen using the same method. So this will open the root screen. Okay, we'll see the actual values of the root screen. Now with this, when you press on, this is the root screen. When you press on the trend, we see that we can move from this screen to the trend. And when you come back, we can move back from both screens. So it's a possibility that we have achieved through the training that you have achieved, that you went through. At the same time, you also have the main OB. So let me also run it in the simulator. So okay, so we just open it, see what we have. Let's give us a few seconds. A few seconds. Open this. Uh, let's try this again. Okay, let's upload this first, then try opening the simulator account. Because this is already online. So let's try taking it online and see. Um, okay, let's try this. Okay, let's close this one first and see what happens. Uh, this, uh, go online. Okay, close this. Let's try open the main OB first. The simulator. Okay. So it depends with the versions you have. Some of them will take a lot of time. Some of them will open very fast. I'm using version 13. Whatever we were taught with was version 14. The one that we were given for the simulators are version 15. The one I got here is the one that we're going to use for the amateur trainer. Okay, now, so this is okay. So here we have some few checklists that you have to go through. You need to go through some previews, run the simulator. Okay. I'm running out of time, but let me see. Let me see how best you can do this. Okay. run the simulator. Okay, now here we will upload. Here we have this. Okay, go online. Then see this. Okay, that's right. Now for the, it's interesting how the two screens are working, but my main OB is not. Okay, so let's try uploading it first. Uh, Save. Okay, and let's try this again. Okay, now, but since I'm running out of time, let me just explain whatever I'm expected to do. So this will give us the range of the inputs. Because I don't have the sensors, I'll just explain. This will give us the inputs, this will give us the temperature behavior, and here we have the calculator. So the trend will be, depending on the inputs, we'll have increase in temperatures of the input, and this will be able to be seen as the trend. The trend, we are going to have two lines, red and red to depict, now green to depict the input, and blue to depict the output. So this you can able to see the behaviors of sensors. At the moment, we have a sensor at 0. See, it's continuously moving from the point, increasing. If you're keen, you realize that it's increasing. If you're keen, so the scale will be increasing. So this is the monitor we can use to do that. Okay, so with that, I believe I'm done. Thank you for the time, and happy programming, PLC programming. Thank you.